So it kind of makes sense for me at Christmas time to talk about some of the projects that I started and never really finished, or they got so far and they were kind of ahead of themselves, or I was ahead of myself, or there wasn't enough money coming in or enough support to come in. And one of those projects would be Pie Street. Pie Street, thepiestreet.com was, and we raised money for this on Kickstarter, was a series of screens, 10 screens, mainly in a city, and they were all connected together via the router of the building that they were in. So if there was a small business or a cafe or a coffee shop, they had their internet router, and we connected into it with a Raspberry Pi and a screen, and were able to do 24/7 digital updates with like pictures and video, and have this kind of visual social network within the city, promoting each other and doing it in a kind of like a social way rather than sort of capitalistic kind of capital way. Very socialist, I guess, in some ways, of just sharing the wealth around in terms of who had different stock or who was doing discounts, or variety of different video that we can push out around the city in real time. And it was kind of cool for a while, but then eventually I kind of got a bit bored of the city because it wasn't really being supportive of it. Kind of wanted me to do a deal all the time, and so I kind of stepped away from that. One of the things I have seen recently, though, that kind of brought it all back for me and kind of complemented the idea, is that I found a great site, I found a great device called the placemeter. And it's the placemeter sensor, so it measures pedestrian, vehicle and bicycle traffic in real time. Now, the reason why this is kind of cool is that I was always thinking that it was going to be the Pie Street that did all that work. So not only are you having this system running that grabs all the pictures and videos, but also being able to bolt on additional devices and sensors. But really, the problem with that is that you're kind of bolting on more stuff. Then you're back into the shop. You have to go to each one of them to connect it all up and play around with it. And I would have had to build it from scratch. There was no system in place. It would have meant connecting to different APIs. We didn't have that kind of development money. So when something comes along like this, you kind of take a look at it. So what's cool about this is that I could connect the placemeter outside, so it measures people walking by, vehicles, bicycle traffic, and we could work out from this kind of scanning system when are the busy times of the day, and then we could complement that by taking that data and using that data to be able to push certain messaging at certain time, because we know we've got a high influx of people walking by at a certain time. So that kind of adds more data, useful data for the small business, in terms of getting to people who's visually looking through the window, looking inside the cafe area. Or maybe when it's a quiet period of time, then we don't need to put certain sort of stuff on the screen. We can put like placeholders for like maps and things like that, because we know there's not a lot of people around. Or we can even power down the systems and save power, I guess. So this thing takes like 5 minutes to set up, sits inside of the window. We were going to go out and see them when we were in New York, but we just got far too busy with the food bank stuff. But it's got like these cameras on it. I really wish I'd gone out and seen them. And it connects via wireless as well, so we wouldn't have to connect to the router. Stick it in the window and it literally does all this counting stuff as you go by. And what I liked about it is that the sensor's free for the first 90 days. So for 3 months, you literally get the sensor for effectively nothing. After that, it's $90, which is about £50 UK. So I don't know. I might get in touch with these guys in the new year. I might be in New York again, probably at the end of January. So we'll see. Maybe I can pop in and say hello as well as go and see the Try the World guys. But interesting little thing. Go and check it out. It's a sensor by placemeter.com. get.placemeter.com/sensor. They're also on Twitter at placemeter, and go and check them out.
Assist, transfer, support, learn, hire.